legends untold, from first puck drop to the season's fall. Tune in and watch the drama unfold.
Toronto Maple Leafs just sent a serious message, and following what has been undoubtedly a disappointing season thus far for the Leafs, they come out and do exactly what we expected them to do and exactly what they needed to do on the backs of a few different players. Easton Cowan's second game was one of the better players on the ice and also looked fantastic on that top line. A ton to go over on this live stream. Welcome in Shane, Gregory, Bobby, Tube, everyone in here. Welcome. This is our, I think, second stream back regarding the post-game lives. We do it after basically every single game. Darius, much-needed win. Huge game. Super exciting. It is the regular season. They're going to have to, they're missing a lot of players. Laurent's out again. Really good game from Cowan. Really good game from the team. And finally a win here to even them back up at 2-2.
Well, listen, yesterday they lost, right? But I don't think they played bad. They played a good game. So you have two back-to-back really good games here, I think, for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But the bigger order of business here is, Nick, a haircut in the middle of a Blue Jays playoff run? What are we doing here?
Had to switch it up.
Yeah, understandable. And, we'll see what they do in Seattle, but just had to throw that in there. But two back-to-back good performances, I think, for the Leafs. And tonight was really strong. Easton Cowan is definitely an NHLer, right? I think the biggest thing to me, the last couple of weeks and the topic of conversation on Twitter or wherever, on our channel and our comment section as well has been, from me at least, if he's going to be on the fourth line, he should be with the Marlies. But if he's going to be on the first line, I'm fine with that because he's playing very well. He's keeping it simple. Nashville was going out of their way tonight and getting distracted to throw him into the net and do all these little things to him to try and throw the Leafs off, and it wasn't working. You can't get to Easton Cowan. Another thing that impressed me tonight about him is his body positioning, how he uses his body to protect the puck. Really, really good. He's an NHL player. He's ready to go here, and I know he's playing with NHL caliber talent, elite talent in Nyes and Matthews, of course, but man, he looks really good. I'm really happy about that. And Nick, the biggest story I think in this game, I know, we're going to talk about Cowan. Nylander looked good tonight, right? He responded to the, being called out and all of that stuff. Biggest thing to me is they're getting a lot of scoring from their back end now. And Riley missed a wide open net. He could have had another one. So he's been playing well, at least offensively. And they're getting a lot of scoring from their back end to start, which is something that, it's funny. You talk about, last season and what they're going to address. Usually those are the things that come out early in the season. That's clearly they fixed that, but then they have other problems now. So it's always funny to look at that. But man, they look good. And Primo was good enough.
Yeah.
He was not good, but he was good enough. So that's all you can ask, I think.
What's up, Shane? Hope you're doing well as well. Prophet, seeing you around. What's up, Darius crew? What's up, Prophet? Happy to be back. Happy to be back. Everyone is back. And the good news is the Leafs are hopefully going to start a win streak here. Let's look as Shane is starting it off
with a bang.
5 gifted. If you're unfamiliar, if you're new here, Aiden getting a gifted membership. If you're new here, with the memberships, we have a bunch of different things. You have emotes, access to priority call-ins, tons of things. We'll slowly integrate them, of course, back in as we go. Shane, welcome back for 1. 2, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. We're getting the streams fully back in order here, and hopefully a lot of the familiar faces return. And what's up, Limitless, as well. And I think they set up for Cowan better than they did in the last game. There was a bit of a scuffle after. Shane, thank you again. Awake, Ski, Aiden, Michael, everyone who got a membership. Thanks, Shane, in the chat. You have access to a bunch of emotes, more coming. Speaking of Easton Cowan, you can see here on the Impact scorecard, he was the sixth best player on the ice in his second ever NHL game. Really, really impressive stuff. All the talk about, I was about to say some Habs players, all the talk about a lot of the young players in the NHL. Cowan is so far legit. What's up, Scorch? Aiden, welcome back as well. Ski, what's up as well? This is great stuff. Also, we'll dive into a few different players here. Tavares, OEL, Matthews, Nylander leading the top four. You can't really ask for, much better than that. And it was a rough game for Yarncroke, a rough game for Nicholas Waugh a little bit. Morgan Riley and Carlo, that pairing is still near the bottom, which is a little bit scary. Crunchy and John, a lot of familiar faces back here. It's making me happy. Easton Cowan being 6 is something that's truly, that's extremely, extremely impressive.
Yeah, and so he's 6th, right? And you're like, okay, he's playing on the top line. Maybe he should be a little bit higher. This is the way I look at it. John Tavares scored tonight, and he's getting power play time. Austin Matthews is getting power play time. OEL had 4 points tonight, I think. 3 points, 4 points.
I think, yeah.
3 points. William Nylander's playing on the power play. Simone Benoit, by the way.
Best defenseman in the NHL.
Fantastic this year. He has looked fantastic. And let me tell you, we've been on the Benoit train for 3 years now. So he looks awesome. And he looks like he's playing with this new confidence. Like, I don't know if the playoffs did something to him. Like, he was already playing that way in the playoffs. But now he's taking it to the regular season. He's doing these, he drives the net. It's incredibly refreshing for who he is and what we've known him to be. And he's playing awesome. So love him. But anyway, all those guys listed, and then it's Cowan. A lot of those guys are getting power play time, getting a lot of minutes, right? And they're the top guys on the team. So to me, that's incredibly impressive. And he just looks like he belongs at this point. Maybe not in terms of the physicality. Like, he was getting drilled a couple times. That one play was incredibly dirty. I couldn't believe that wasn't 5 minutes or intent to injure. Or something there, at least review it, but I get it. Like, I don't know what you're going to give him. It's got to be 2 minutes for interference, I guess, but a little bit of a dirty play. But, that's kind of what he was in London too. Like, he was always the number 1 guy, of course, but that's kind of what he was in London. Like, guys are always trying to get him off his game because he's kind of just a pest and he's buzzing around out there. Like, I like that, right? So he's doing it now at the NHL level, and it's really good. They were just constantly, I feel like it threw Nashville off their game a little bit. I love it. And again, like, if he's going to be on the 4th line, don't love it. I feel like he should be playing a lot of minutes with the puck, and he's doing that on the 1st line, and it looks like he belongs. So it's been awesome to see. I don't know if it's going to stay that way once guys come back from injury, but I think they've had 2 solid back-to-back games here where, yesterday, kind of a fluke to me. Stolarz wasn't on his game, and some nice goals, let's be honest, right? But, tonight I think they took the messaging to heart, and they had a good one. And in terms of Riley Carlo, I'm curious for your thoughts too, Nick. Tonight was okay. Like, somebody's got to be last on the list, right? Every game. Tonight was okay, but overall for the small sample size of the season, they have not been good. But at least Riley is better offensively. That's the way I'm looking at it. And hopefully they pick it up. But even a couple times tonight, Carlo, I was like, "What is this guy doing?" I hope he picks it up. But a couple times I caught myself at the TV like, that is an odd choice.
Yeah,
odd choice.
That deadline's looking a little bit interesting so far with no Lawton. You gave up a bunch of picks. I think Carlo will be fine, hopefully. And also, there's another impact scorecard here, which uses different metrics. Pretty similar. They actually value McCabe way higher than Austin Matthews. Cowan still near the middle. So I'm going to stick with this one. I think this one's a bit more accurate. But regardless of that, I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat. What's up, John? Welcome. Cowan did get his first point, and it was a fantastic feed. Right on the stick, obviously back to Nyes, and then back to Matthews. Nyes could have scored that goal, I think, but it was a good pass back to Matthews to get him on the board there. Cowan looks really good. Really, really good. And Michelli looked really, really good. His first game where I think Michelli actually looked good. I don't know how he didn't have an assist. I don't know how he didn't have anything. He's on the ice. Really, really good. And I think he was a +1, right? Yeah. So Michelli was a +1. Nyes was a +2. Regardless. There's some questions in the chat, and I'll answer that in a minute. Also, if you're new here, hit the like button. Let's try to get to 20 likes right now. We're at 7. So let's make sure to hit the like button. It is, the Carlo, Riley, you're not going to change it up because I think they fit each other well. Yep. I'm not too worried. Someone had to play bad. Like, Nicola Waugh has been great. He had a rough game. Yarncroke had a rough game. Dakota Joshua, I think, played better. I think he hasn't really gotten his feet under him. But again, they barely gave up any assets for these guys. So can't be too upset. McMahon, Robertson, they're probably going to go ahead and keep. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, they're not playing bad, though. Like, they're not, they're not scoring or anything like that, but they're not playing horrible. They're just doing their thing. Yeah. I think it's fine, right? So McMahon was good again tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And even Robertson, they're probably going to keep him in.
Yep.
I don't want to ask you guys in chat, and there was a question. Thank you. We're at 14 likes, so we're 6 away. They said, if a fully healthy team, what's the lineup? That's some profit. So we can do this exercise, and I guess fully healthy. Let's just assume he's talking about Lawton and Lorentz, right? So
Yes, yeah. So, because that clearly one person getting injured messed everything up, right? Because the lineup looks completely different. The other thing I want to talk about, because everyone's talking about it in the chat, is the physicality thing and the fact that nobody stood up for Cowan. We'll get to that in a second. I do want to talk about that because I think it's very situational. But in terms of who comes back, do not mess up anything that works. So Cowan is working on the first line right now. If both those guys, Lawton, which they're not, we don't know actually in terms of Lorentz, but if Lorentz were to come back tomorrow and Lawton, I think you got to make a decision there where you're like, I don't think we can put one of these guys in because we won, right?
It's
That's the way that
probably
Berube works.
Robertson and Yarncroke. Like if two people had to go, even though
Yes.
Yarncroke's been
Yeah.
fantastic, if he doesn't keep that up, it'll probably be those two. And I think that's the answer. Lawton's out for probably another couple weeks, few weeks. Lorentz is probably
Yeah.
back for
Yeah.
in the next couple weeks. It'll probably initially be Lorentz for. That's the question. Who is it now? Is it
It's
Robertson?
not Easton Cowan.
Probably, yeah,
It's not.
it's probably Robertson right now. Whoever's playing worse. Like, I don't think you can move by McMahon. He looked really good. It's probably
Yeah.
Robertson.
Yeah. I think it's Robertson. Yarncroke's look good. So maybe you keep him in, right? It depends if, hypothetical situation, if one's coming back and or not, right? We don't know exactly what's happening. We don't even know about Lorentz. Apparently he could have played tonight, but again, the way Berube works, they played well. So in his head, he's like, we're going to keep this together and see if we play well again. So they did. And obviously they won. So Thursday will be interesting. And interesting storyline with Thursday, too. The Rangers have not scored at home in 3 games,
Yeah.
but they're electric on the road. So that's going to be a good game. We'll see what happens there. But Nick, I wanted to talk about this because a lot of people are talking about it in the chat. So a couple times tonight, Cowan gets absolutely rocked. One of them was very dirty. The other one was it was in play. I wouldn't call it dirty or anything, but he got rocked, right? I think in terms of the physicality, in terms of those things, he needs to, it's not that he's not ready, but he needs to brace for those things. Like he needs to be ready. Like those things could happen. The first one, again, was dirty. I don't think anyone would have saw that coming. But in terms of how he uses his body to his advantage to protect the puck, I think he's ready at the NHL level, like physically.
Oh, yeah.
But that type of stuff and not stepping in, I have to say, I think it's very situational. In this game, they were up by 2. Somebody did that to Cowan. If you're Austin Matthews and you start fighting the guy now, you're going to get a penalty and it could shift the momentum of the game. That is what the Predators want. If it's like a 1-1 game in the playoffs and something like that happens, that makes sense. Or if you're down, like that makes total sense. You can't take liberties on our guys, right? Especially a rookie. They both went over, and I say both. Tanev, if you watch back the plays, Tanev went over in the first one, kind of shoved the guy around, was saying something to him, and Matthew said something to the guy, right? Like he's not going to drop the gloves and fight him in that situation. As much as I want it to happen as a fan, I was kind of like, I would love if Matthews confetti gloved right now and beat the brakes off this guy. But I think it's situational in that situation in this game, and the fact that it's a regular season game and they were up in the game. Yeah. So that's just the way I feel about it. But would have loved to see it. Would have loved to see it, but maybe not the time. They'll take the power play.
People in the chat talking a lot about Sammy Blais, getting him in.
Yeah.
They probably will honestly throw him in here soon for Yarncroke or Robertson. Like probably just to get him some reps. I thought tonight would have been a good night to do it.
Yeah.
Second night of back-to-back. They didn't. They elected to go with the same. I think Berube liked the way the Leafs played yesterday, and I had a post-game video on it. I thought they should have probably won that game 9 times out of 10. Like that, they probably do, and unfortunately they didn't. But the good news is 2-2. Like you just move. Like it's the way that regular season is. It's a long regular season. Yeah, you did the Stamkos Matthews fight. We're also 1 leg away from 20. I don't know. A really good game. And Matthew Nyes, it was good to see him after getting rocked in the knee, I think it was, to stay in the game. He was like arguably the best player on the ice too. You make a lot of different cases. Here's the box score again in case you missed it. Look at all the shots on goal. I mean, John Tavares, we haven't even touched on him. Finally had a really good game. I mean, Matthews looked really good as well. Domi pretty quiet, unfortunately, but Michelli's first good game. A lot of positives here. And I think tonight, Limitless, I'll dive into that now as well. I think tonight for Nylander, he looked like Nylander. Like that's the best way I could put it.
Yeah, he looked fine tonight. I thought he was skating well. He was making plays. That first goal was unbelievable. Was it the first? It might have been the second one where he tucked it over to OEL in that tight spot. The defenseman was right on him and tucked it over to OEL. It was a nice play. So I thought he looked good today. He's going to do what he does, right? And then there was a couple times where he was back checking, and I was like, okay, so clearly message sent and received. So, and you could tell, like, There was even a point, I don't know if you saw this point in the game, you could hear him on the mic by the bench, and he was yelling at somebody like, "Get me the effing puck."
Respect it.
And like he's exactly like he was engaged tonight. So when he's like that, everything's good. He's not going to be a defensive player or anything like that, but he looked engaged, and it looked like after being called out by his coach, he's like, "Okay, I'm going to do something tonight." So he did. He looked good.
Someone said trade Wall. I actually want to say, I think this is the reason, a prime example why you don't trade Wall. Like Kane Primo, he had a fine game. If Wall's in net, probably 2 goals, maybe 3, right? Like a couple of them are pretty weak, and no idea what's going on with Wall. But like Wall and Stolar's tandem is crucial for back-to-backs like this. It's crucial for if Stolar's gets, tired. It's also a blessing in disguise in the sense of it gives Stolar's a chance to actually play a ton of games and see if he's able to do that. He's under contract now for 3 years, right? So he has another 3 years in him. So it's going to be interesting to see. Joseph Wall will be back whenever he's back. Kind of crazy that it's been this long. Don't even want to speculate or begin to speculate what's happening. It's been really long. So hopefully all is good with him. Lawton, I don't know. There's a lot of good. This team is good. I think this team is good. They looked really slow the first 2 games. They weren't playing well. They're going to be absolutely perfect. And I think that's where I'm at with it. I didn't panic yesterday. Didn't panic before. John, I didn't hear that. I don't know. Maybe
don't. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not speculate on that. Something's happened. He'll come back when he comes back. Something's happened. They already said it's not a substance abuse thing. He's not in the program. All that. They came out and said that. Just give him the time he needs. He'll come back at some point. And you're right. This is a prime example of why they need him, because Caden Primo, love the guy. He's a Leaf right now. I wish him success. Not a great NHL goalie. So, if you're getting scored on 4 times in a night, you're going to have to score 7 goals. So, hopefully that's exactly, but, that's not going to happen every night. So, especially a game like Thursday when you're playing Shesterkin, right? So it's not, you got to tighten that up a little bit, I think. But, and Hildeby's not the answer yet, maybe in a couple of years. But,
they might use it. To be fair, he's probably the next man up if Primo goes off the wall. So,
definitely.
Prophet saying, the only problem I can see is how the second line's defensive side of the puck and size. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. But ideally you make up for that with your defenseman and just hope that it works, right? And it worked tonight.
But you also have different, a lot of teams, I don't know, a lot of teams work differently than Berube. Berube likes to work in pairs, and he likes a toolbox. He likes different lines to give you different things. And if one is all offensive and, a liability on defense, that's just what it is at times. Ideally, he doesn't want that, but he's gonna rock with stuff like that at times. So, I think it's okay as long as they're doing what they need to do, right? Then some nights it does look ugly, but there's nights like tonight where it's okay, we're fine.
What do you guys think of the D-line's offensive game tonight? Save Riley's horrible miss. Really good. OEL with 3 points, McCabe with a goal. They should have the talent to do that in theory, right? OEL is pretty good offensively. Jake McCabe is capable at times, good shot. And Morgan Riley is a few years removed from whatever it was, 70-point season, whatever it was, right? He's very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
They can do this at any given night, right? And I think that's kind of what it is. People talk about Marty Necas. I'm all in on it, but I know some people aren't.
Interesting.
I do think trade rumors are going to pick up pretty early this year, just because as much as the team looks good, they're probably one top 6 forward away from being elite. And this is a question I'll ask, and I want you guys to answer it in chat, yes or no. Now, we had a video on this a few days ago. And we also, I think, a trade video probably coming for you guys tomorrow. So it kind of fits in well and it makes some sense here. Yes or no, would you trade Cowan for Marty Necas? Let's just assume it's a straight up deal. Marty Necas, Easton Cowan, 1-for-1 trade. Type your answers yes or no if you are the Toronto Maple Leafs. My answer was yes before Cowan made his debut. My answer remains yes right now. I would do that deal if it's a 1-for-1. It would suck a little bit, especially because they got rid of a lot of their prospects, Gerbenkin and Frazier. I fully understand people who are going to say no. It's probably the overwhelming side of it. And the more I think about it now, to be completely honest, I'm leaning more towards no, just because of how good he's actually looked, even though it's only 2 NHL games. Jared, I'll let you have your.
Marty Necas, in theory, would help you win immediately, and you're in a cup window, right? And he's a point-a-game player. He is. He's a great player, offensive player. I wouldn't do that, even if it was 1-for-1, because of the mentals. Easton Cowan is a harder worker than that player. And Necas is kind of, you're hearing rumors about, I'm unhappy on one of the best teams in the league, this and that, this other thing, right? He was unhappy with the trade. I don't know if you want to deal with that and bring that into the room. And I'm not saying, Cowan's going to help you win a Stanley Cup if you keep him, but I like the mental aspect of not doing that to the team, the psyche, and keeping Easton Cowan. I think he's a harder work. I don't know if his ceiling will be higher, right? Like I don't know if he's going to end up as a better player than Natchez in terms of like point production and all that, but in terms of the way he plays the game and how hard he works, I'd rather keep Cowan, I think. And he's in the NHL now. He's playing well, so
it's fair. And the cap hit's really low, so
minimum.
And
Yeah.
Fraser Minton over there in Boston's off to a okay start.
Yeah.
1 point. What about Ben Danford for Marty Natchez or someone of that nature? People, the Leafs have their decor locked up for the next 3 years. So I think if they are to trade someone to try to go all in, it probably would be Ben Danford rather than Easton Cowan. But I'd probably keep Cowan. Danford, I'd have to see, but he could replace Samal Benoit in theory in a year. So
he's going to be Chris Tanev's replacement.
Or Tanev, yeah, I guess.
And I think he's going to be the exact same player. I have to be honest. Like I'm super high on Ben Danford, and he's not a regular prospect. Like he does the ugly stuff really well, and like the fine details. And he's a simple player, like a Berube guy. And will Berube be around when he's like a full-time NHLer? I don't know. Who's to say? I hope so. But I would not trade Ben Danford whatsoever. He's almost an untouchable in my eyes. I think he's going to be a great player. And again, he's not a regular prospect. He's been to back-to-back OHL finals, and you learn something doing that. And he was playing against Cowan too, which is hilarious. But I think you learn valuable skills being in those situations and how to handle those moments. So I would not trade that player because there's a lot of great prospects around the league that have never played in a final, and he's played in 2. So I wouldn't. I know it's the OHL, but you learn something about being on those moments, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Whitey it was a question in chat, but also like I do think trade conversations are going to be had much earlier than previous years for this team, but we'll see how it goes. If Natchez like Marner, we don't need a whiner again. Yeah, like I don't think they're going to do it. I think they like their team. I think they like their team. That's not Maya, whatever it is. I forget. I think also I think Rantanen's better than Marty Natchez, but it is what it is. I think they're going to keep Cowan on the top line, and then if it doesn't work, keep messing around. Congratulations, Twisted.
Congratulations, Twisted.
Big parlay. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, fantastic game. Really good overall from a lot of these guys. On to Thursday. That's kind of where my mindset is.
Yeah.
I think we covered most of it. On to Thursday, and I mean, hopefully they can take care of business here soon, and we'll have lots of live streams coming every single game. So a lot of trade talks, a lot of tons of things. So I'm pretty excited personally. Hockey's back. Jays are going to get probably eliminated here shortly. So
don't talk like that. Don't talk.
All
like
right,
that. There's still energy. I was at the game yesterday, and there was still energy in the building. Which, like, come on, let's be real. But there's still energy in the building near the end. It was fun, but I don't know. We'll see. That team is interesting, Nick. I think they'll pull out too.
Hope so.
On the road. We'll see what happens. Last thing I want to mention though is there's going to be, like you've mentioned, a lot of trade talk this year because there are so many players that it's obvious that by the time we get to the deadline, they will be moved. And because of what happened to Rantanen last year, I think anything is on the table. And a lot of people realize that. So, and at any moment, right? Like it can come before the deadline. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of chatter. And all the insiders are saying the Leafs are actively working on getting a top 6 player.
Yeah.
And they're just going to chip away at it until they get their way or whatever. So don't know who it is. I would imagine they're calling Pittsburgh. I have to be honest, but could be somebody we don't expect, like a Carlo trade. We'll see what happens. But we know that they're working on something. Whether he pulls the trigger or not, we'll see. But I don't think it'll be in season. It'll be closer to deadline.
I hope so, Shane. I hope so. And yeah, everyone have a great evening. We'll be back on Thursday for a post-game stream against the New York Rangers. Hopefully they can take care of business. Hit the like button on the way out. We're 6 away from 30 and video for you guys tomorrow morning or tomorrow at some point. Hopefully the Leafs can take care of business on Thursday. In the meantime, see you guys in tomorrow's video.
Leafs Digest, your daily dose of gold. Stories of the bold where legends are told. From first puck drop to the season's fall. Tune in.